Welcome back to Nightmind, friends, and welcome to the first visit of ours to a much-demanded channel review, Red Diamond. VHS Tales, Oakburn Opus. You guys really were onto a new and powerful storyteller. Analog horror has ruled the roost for several years now, and in that time, much has been discussed in the way of evolution. How often will we come across those inspired by the leading voices of the subgenre, taking things in an exciting new direction? And in what ways would they show us a different interpretation of the methods? We've come across a few examples before, but no one has been as apt, in my eyes, of analyzing the evolution of analog horror before them and moving along with it as the truly adept Red Diamond. VHS Tales, the first series by this creator, lists the following videos in viewing order: The Starving Five, UFO Sightings of 2001, The Circles, and A Wasp Nest. It's an anthology approach, each video containing a standalone story. Though rumor is, if you watch Oakburn Opus, you'll find connecting tissue. I'd like to tackle each video in order, discussing its style, strength, all the elements that inspire. Of course, I do want to offer and highly suggest you take the opportunity to view VHS Tales on your own first. My guided experience is never the same as the actual viewing in context, in your own space, and you've not experienced aesthetic and atmospheric work quite like this. It's worth it. The link is in the video description. Go on ahead and watch on your own time. Support Red Diamond with your views and subscribe if you want more. Check out their Patreon if you'd like. Then come back here. And meanwhile, in that sense of showing support, I'd like to take a page out of Dr. Wolfula's video flow now and introduce today's sponsor, me. I've mentioned the Nightmind Patreon at the end of videos for years, and while you can still support on Patreon and enjoy benefits, I've taken YouTube up on its membership system in case you'd like to just do it directly on the channel as you're here, including an upgrade that my life now allows for supporting on either side for $5 or more per month. At $2.99 a month on YouTube, you get photos and exclusive status updates, as well as badges next to your name and comments and live chat in any event of going live on Nightmind Main. The same goes for custom emojis to use in comments and the live chat if I go live on Nightmind Main. This is an easy option if you just wanted to support directly through YouTube right now. At $4.99 or $5 a month on either YouTube membership or Patreon, you will now get access to member-only videos. It's my time of life to provide a lot more tips, tricks, tools of the trade, lessons I've learned in video making, writing, art and media analysis, making a YouTube channel. I'm even going to share what I know about voice acting and voice directing. And you get access to an ongoing video documentary of the experiences I'll have in the journey I get to officially unveil that I'm a part of in, just a few days from now actually, in the AirG space. And you're not going to expect it, but you're going to have a lot of fun and be in the know on a long project as it goes on. Or even many of them. If you want to learn from me on a whole array of topics from over 10 years now of creator life and go on a journey with me in putting my skills to use as I'm doing it, this is the moment. It's my course of classes and retrospectives on things I know and I'm developing, on YouTube or through Patreon for just $5 a month. Just hit the join button next to the subscribe button, or go pick a tier on Patreon. Link is in the video description. Thank you so much either way, and thank you to anyone who supported me in the mission of Nightmind. Now, let's pop some VHS tapes into the VCR. The Starving Five by Red Diamond was uploaded on January 11th, 2024, an appropriately cold time to give us this tale. As the video begins, closed captions reveal secret whisperings unheard in the audio. An exiled spirit, rejected from the domains of the afterlife. The earth repudiates its flesh, preventing it from rotting. Damned with an endless hunger, a mouth that can't eat and a throat that can't swallow. It takes shame on its grotesque form, using every aspect of its unnatural physicality to lure and capture prey. A simple setup, but with tantalizing visuals, captured in an old film frame experiencing a light leak. The sights and sounds combine to give an impression of ancient legend, true deep woods folklore, with an illustration of a creature that brings to mind the Vitruvian Man by Da Vinci. A multi-armed, multi-legged bipedal, 3 deer skulls for its head, antlered, a body still coated in dark fur, its torso a cross between that of a man and a beast. A title card is displayed, The Starving Five. Our senses have been primed with a taste for the tale to come. As we enter the storytelling, the atmospheric impression is as immediate as the silent narration. Let's observe how much occurs in so little in the time span of 52 seconds. This is analog horror formatting. It's plain as day to most of us by now, right? But look at what's been done with it. A deeper lean into filmic aesthetic, unique choices in font and style, presentation of moving footage and photos that still have a sense of action, all providing an emotional palette to our experience and establishing setting and tone. It is a place of unforgiving cold, and we're shown the cabin used in this unforgiving place, presented in such a fashion that it brings back memory of stop-motion animation films. Look at the way the light in this cabin flickers in this desolate forest in midwinter. The effort that's already gone into conveying the idea, location, and mood is above and beyond much of our expectation in analog horror typesetting. The film grain rolls over everything, much less a VHS tape and more projector reel, but you don't mind that in the least. We're told this is a place of desperate cruelty, followed by the dead truck, and an explanation of such. It's that simple and grim. Close-up shots of the cabin follow, a door terribly scratched and barred from inside, narration informing us the exposure points in the cabin are having an immediate physical impact. Heat escapes through the cracks, our skin hardens. Rifles sit unused in a corner. Animals sing and hiss, but nothing is seen. We are starving. Animal skull trophies are shown on one wall, while another shows how old and emotionally distant this place is. In contrast, a story beat. Gary heard his lover's call. Natasha followed him blindly. Alex dreams unquietly. I watch the rumbling snow attentively. Our narrator takes us away from the cabin, as if to whisper the message that comes next. We are not starving alone. The forest fills in the background, bringing our attention to where the company spoken of in that last message may be. Visual and auditory storytelling follow seamlessly. Audio in a horror project can take us places visuals simply can't, but in tandem with design in a visual sense, it can create moments like this. The sound work for the tapping outside gives us a sense of moving around the cabin as whatever's knocking does, bringing us closer to a point that it can get closer itself. And on the urging to wake up, we're presented with full footage of an eye opening, followed by what it witnessed in the window. This is superb tension-making work, and that sense is immediately witnessed in the eye and the window right after. An open door in the cabin now contains an invitation. The anxious dreamer wanders unconsciously. Will you follow him? One of the rifles from the room is missing. The remainder disappears too, informing us of the protagonist's choice. It's December 17th. As the phone sits on screen, we overhear the call via written word. Do you believe she's still there? Alive? One caller asks. Alex, the other gets in, before an interruption. It's been a month. The other caller pauses, then answers. She is dead. This city is hostile. All it takes is one detour, a miscalculated step, and you're gone. But Gary still has, albeit naive and delusional, hope that we can still find her. And who would dare to take that away from him? Our relation to the narrative changes. Personalized and informed at the same time via phone call, we can tell the order of events from just before if considered along with the narrative intro. Gary was first to be led outside, looking for his missing lover. Then Natasha followed, leaving Alex and the narrator. In the previous scene, whatever led Gary came to draw Alex into the cold. And our narrator now is left with a choice. Follow or sit inside. The footage observed is through Dimitri's eyes. Now we know the name of our protagonist. Photographs tracing the steps of his cabin mates through the deep snow is a great original material touch. And in the last stretch, we come across the bodies, with a reiteration of each of their missteps. Gary, Natasha, and Alex. Then, transfixed by the moon, Dimitri is led into an encounter with the creature. The power of this sequence can't be understated. There's so much you can discuss about it, much of it obvious, but let me draw a highlight on one specific element of visual language. The same film projector screen and its light leak is used to show the creature from the start. The ideas and style it entered with: old, legendary, a creature of folklore study, an entity to be captured in media unpersonal to you, is now right in front of you. The old and impossible made real, transfixing you, and much more than graphite and ink in a field journal. It took 3 of Dimitri's friends. It's taken others before them. And now, a beast of endless hunger, it asks you as the light leak diminishes in the night, shall we starve together? In full realization of the entity before him, Dimitri's eyes dilate impossibly. It escapes the bonds of the impersonal projector reel, and is now horribly genuine and lurking above you. And then Dimitri's fate is sealed. December 22nd. It is daybreak. Birds chirp as sunlight strikes the door. Inside, the shadow of the entity moves about. Dimitri, blinded, asks where his eyes have gone. He's told, "You won't starve alone." And the creature lurks in the dark with a candle, repeating this promise as days turn into weeks. Pleas to be released are met with the phrase, over and over, until over a month has gone by, and at last, Dimitri closes his eyes, starved to death. The Starving Five is a triumph of utilizing analog horror's format and media experiments across the subgenre to achieve an inspired, filmic approach to a short horror tale. Much more like a motion storybook with stop-motion animation touches and art house film sequences, clearly putting motion graphics intelligence to work as well as video editing skills. The outcome is an atmospheric, aesthetically enticing short that delivers on a monster survival concept that leaves you chilled. Creators will often struggle to overcome an indulgence of atmosphere and style approaches that, in the novice phase, may leave an audience feeling more like they've been bludgeoned with the flavor touches more than delighted. Control and understanding of the intensity for things, as well as how to raise and lower intensity, is an issue many will learn through. Here, Red Diamond displays an excellent sense of appropriate application for the effects, from visual to auditory, and great timing throughout. Now, much of the critical praise I've elaborated on here is applicable to the following works. You're going to see the skill set in use, so I won't repeat myself terribly much. Let's instead see how Red Diamond displays new triumphs in experiment and skill application in the next 3 videos. UFO sightings of 2001 in Nativist Sidera, Michigan, presents us with a UFO bearing language reminiscent of cuneiform. Then a light symbolic sequence as the UFO drops an object, which slowly develops until it forms a humanoid body. A VHS tape look kicks in next, and it's one of the most surprisingly authentic presentations of actual VHS I've seen in analog horror format projects. An info block is shown, VHS 2001, repeating flesh and bone showers, ahead of viewer discretion is advised. The strength of storytelling here in media application is immediately on display. Establishment of place for the first shot, which may not move outside of visual effects, but those effects, paired with the audio work, provide a definite impression of place, just as we understood at the intro of The Starving Five. Major praise for live-action footage that followed the narrative writing informing us that babies here aren't natural births, and great touch of direct-to-camcorder or analog editing text noting, "not a star." This is deeply within the realm of a VHS tape experience, putting us behind a camera or a TV with a VCR. Getting back into the action, notice the info on the top right. Unit E09. The sequence that comes next may break the VHS tape style adhesion, but notice the information granted through the visual. Lots of biological material in action, microscopic level. We then shift to the next scene of the opening symbolic sequence, giving us what? A UFO, an orb that descended from it, and a humanoid body that developed from that orb. Our first active live footage sequence described an orb in the sky that was not a star. Watching that sequence, with so much dedicated animation work, so expertly layered and stylized to stay in the look and feel of the tape, it's delightful, inspiring. It makes you ask what it must have taken to develop this. Giving us this story through the lens of a person who's in on the conspiracy too is different. We understand the narrator may not be an agent of these units acting as midwives to celestial births, but the perspective of those agents is included. A shot of the sky, undisturbed, is followed by the woods, in which warbling sounds mix with the cries of babies, the only crying they'll ever do. The next sequence is excellent, but does include a touch of flashing lights. Jump to the timestamp on screen to avoid if needed. The end sequence makes us wonder if abduction of humans is necessary for this process from the viewpoint. And if it isn't, it's a great moment of a close encounter and a last touch of statement. Just under 6 minutes 30 seconds by the time credits roll. UFO Sightings 2001 is a superb short film of extraterrestrial activity. Is it horrifying or just mystifying? That's for you to decide. Without question, the work is stellar. The Circles is the first upload by Red Diamond, but placed third in the playlist for VHS Tales. Its intro sequence is a nice slow burn graphic fading into view, giving us priming for the story, followed by the first scene of a town overview. Notice how I keep saying scene and shot as we explore Red Diamond's work? It's inherently filmic. My language keeps leaning towards discussing it in this context due to the construction, and that's critical praise in itself. Ethan Astor is our protagonist, who wants to inform us of the paranormal affliction to his Alaskan town. My immediate delight in this scene is how naturally stylized the text is in line with the rest of the look. It fits so perfectly, not standing out too much, not understated. The style work for the whole visual is equally distributed. It makes it all feel far more natural. The Circles are set to haunt this town, which come every once in a while and stir evacuation. And as this circle fades, we're placed under a lamppost in this town during snowfall at night. Quite a transition to a beautiful live-action shot. The Circles will be coming in 5 days. Ethan is staying to experience the event. Someone named Martha leaves him a note, expressing she isn't comfortable with his wish. We cut from the note on a table to the environment the note rests in. Ethan's home, with the TV on, showing the local news. Very often, analog horror formatted projects will put local news directly in front of us. Seldom do we see them from a position of being near the TV in a room. As cuts take us around the house, it feels as if we're going on a calm tour of a walk-in diorama. Atmosphere is set. Of course, aesthetic is deeply achieved. Situation is very apparent. In the basement, the Circles are already appearing. Ethan's shadow is all we see of him, observing the formation. In the next shot, night falls, and the lighting on the front of the house is an immediately priming decision in that coloring of red. In the living room, the local news calls it a day, then experiences the all-too-familiar glitches of a paranormal event. Flashing light warning once again. Observe the timestamp if you need. The development of the circular takeover is so potent, watching the environment succumb to whatever this is. Then we experience Ethan's encounter with the center of the circle phenomenon, and here, witness a personal interpretation of the thing that should not be in the protagonist's perspective. Ethan has become the circle, his fate foreshadowed in the opening graphic. The end sequence focuses on the phenomenon over the town, as Ethan describes how those who decide to stay are never seen again. Some say they join the circles, and now, he's one of them. The Circles is absolutely Uzumaki by Junji Ito by way of Red Diamond, and I love it for this. Rather than doing a direct, let me try this approach, it feels as if Red Diamond asked, what would I do with this idea? The result is a different sort of protagonist, one who knows what's coming and wants to feel it, which results in a peaceful outcome for him, but is totally shocking body horror to us. It's the first time we've really been shown gore by Red Diamond, and it's deeply effective. Visual work throughout the Circles is as powerful as anywhere else, just taken in by a new road of delivery. Any of the 3 short films we've watched so far are phenomenal experiences to introduce anyone to this creator's work, but the Circles and the Starving 5 are the best options for leaving a viewer haunted. And at last we face a wasp nest. 18 minutes, 54 seconds long. This is the most recent short film at the time of my uploading this review, and the most cinematically structured in the VHS Tales Anthology. Stylistically varied and quite different than the previous installments, it has modern aesthetic touches and visuals, mixing in approaches not yet seen at the level of fidelity Red Diamond offers here. A dedicated 1999 desktop, email client, and web browser is included in this one, amidst other things. The self-challenging factor of Red Diamond as a creator is so obvious by now. It seems as if he's just not content to make anything unless it's bringing a new element, approach, or skill to developing the short. It's honestly much better if I send you off to view a wasp nest on your own. I mean it. Much of what I could say about it that's new in my critical analysis thus far, I've just said. And it's time, if you haven't done so, to experience a creator of this caliber at their most evolved so far. Do mind the warning at the head. Intense flashing lights and images, loud noises, and I'll add a notice of a touch of classical art of male body presentation if that's a moment you need to mind. Otherwise, I'd give Red Diamond their flowers with a direct view for a wasp nest now. It's at the end of the playlist I've linked in the video description. There are creators who excel at story over visual, visual over story, audio over both. And then there's Red Diamond, who knows how to weave both so powerfully to convey story using limited shots and audio work designed with deep ability. It's very impressive. I sincerely hope he's getting work with anyone outside of the YouTube uploads. I've not been reminded of American Horror Stories teasers and intro sequences in ages, but Red Diamond is the kind of artist who could do this sort of work easily. Music videos too. Imagine the kind of gallery he could bring. And the most impressive part? Once again, according to channel description, the creator is 19 years old. Kane Pixels, Red Diamond, many others by now in this scene. Online horror wonderkins are doing great. If you'd like to explore Oakburn Opus here too, go to the comment section, let me know. And that's all for tonight, everyone. Thanks to Red Diamond for making VHS Tales. Thank you to everyone who's viewed it or will show friends. Thank you to everybody for watching. And thanks to my YouTube members, those already here, whoever's just joined, and anybody who's about to, and my supporters on Patreon. As stated earlier, you can now support Nightmind for as little as $2 or $3 as a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, which empowers what I do and the Nightmind Index for new and undiscovered unfiction projects. And to those in the $5 tier on either side, exclusive videos will be available soon. It's very helpful. I'm always grateful. And you can see the names of all the Patreon supporters at the end of this video, with YouTube members shown on the channel itself. Thanks for joining me in the dark again this evening. Once more, I'm Nick Nocturne, and you'll be seeing me again real soon. Until next time, may your dreams and nightmares mystify aesthetically, and sleep tight.